Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about the order of sharps and flats and basically figuring out what keys or what scales, what major scales contain what sharps and what flats. Now when I say key and scale, they're really the same thing. For example, if you play in the key of C, then you are playing chords based on chords built from the C major scale. So whenever I say key, think scale and vice versa. So really the question becomes, after you apply that whole half major scale formula to the chromatic scale, which is every note, you come up with a lot of scales and a lot of sharps and a lot of flats, and it's really tough to memorize a chart full of, A, B, C, D, E, F, A sharp, B sharp, or A sharp, B flat, all of those scales. So what you want to do is apply that major scale formula in a way that's easy to remember the sharps and the flats in each of the keys, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to start with the sharps. Alright, now there's a lot of ways that you can remember the sharps, but the easiest is by using a phrase, and I've heard a lot of them, but the two that I like the best are Father Charles goes down and ends battle, or fat cats go down alleys eating birds. And the first letter of each of these words is the order of the sharps. F, C, G, D, A, E, B. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Alright? Now, a trick to remember the scales and their sharps is simply by going to the next letter in the alphabet from your last sharp. And I'll explain what that means. As you know, the key of C has no sharps and no flats. This is the treble clef, and the key signature usually shows up right here after the treble clef, and it'll be in the shape of a sharp or a flat symbol, or several sharps or several flats. So if you look, this actually has a sharp, and remember, every good boy does fine. That is the F sharp note. If you see this on a piece of music, then every single F, if there's only one sharp, it's always going to be F sharp. So every F that you run across in this piece of music is going to be an F sharp as opposed to a regular F. Now, how do you know what key that is? Well, it's easy. All you have to do, that's an F sharp. The next letter in the alphabet is G, so there's your scale. You're in the G major scale. Alright? Now what if you have two sharps? Well, remember, from Father Charles goes down and ends battle, so F and C will be the two sharps here, F and C. So F and sharp and C sharp. So what key are you in? Well, the next letter in the alphabet after C is D, so the D major scale has F sharp and C sharp. Same logic applies to three sharps. F, C, G, Father Charles goes. The next letter in the alphabet is A, so you're in the A major scale. Four sharps, Father Charles goes down. Alright, D, so that must be E major. Four sharps, F, C, G, D, E major. If you see five sharps, Father Charles goes down and, that's right, B. I'm in the B major scale. And then lastly, if you see, actually not lastly, but second to last, if you see six sharps, which is a whole lot of sharps, it's not very common in guitar, but you'll have F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, Father Charles goes down and ends, and that's going to be the F sharp major scale, not F. You'll see in a minute that the F scale actually has one flat in it. And then lastly, the C sharp key. I'm not sure that I've ever played. Maybe I've played it in a C sharp minor key, but very rarely in C sharp. Anyway, so here you go. Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Every single key. And I've got some typos I need to fix here. But as you can see, every single note in the C sharp major scale is sharp. And that's it. That's all there is to it. And this is what they look like on the staff. And next week, or in the next lesson, I'll show you the cycle of force, or the circle of force, which basically is a visual representation of this. So let's go on to the order of flats. Alright, remember, Father Charles goes down and ends battle. Well, the easy way to remember this, the phrase, is bead glass can fracture. Beaded glass can fracture. It spells out the word B, B-E-A-D, G-C-F. Again, C has no sharps or flats. Now if you see one flat, that's always going to be B flat. B flat. Alright? So what could it be? F. It could be the flat key, B, F. Alright? And that's it. If you see one flat, it's always going to be B flat. Now, the trick to use here is from here on out, you'll have to memorize this. B flat equals the key of F. But from here on out, the key you're in is the next to last flat, and I'll show you what I mean there. I have two flats here. Remember B-E-A-D, G-C-F, right? B-E-A-D, G-C-F. That's our order of flats. So B flat, E flat, B flat, E flat. Now what's the next? This is the last flat, so the next to last flat is B. So we're in the key of B flat. It's simple. And it works the same way all the way through. If you see three flats, B, E, A, and it's the next to last flat, E flat. So I'm in the key of E flat. Four flats, B, E, A, D. The next second to last flat is A flat, so I'm in A flat. Five flats, B, E, A, D, bead, glass, G. So I'm in D flat, it's the next to last flat. And finally, if you see, actually, again, not finally, but the second to last key is B, E, A, D, G, C. So if you're in C flat, then actually, or I'm sorry, if you, I don't know what I'm thinking, B, E, A, D, G flat, C flat, G flat is the key you're in. And then lastly, very unlikely that you'll ever be in this, because really C flat is the same thing. It's the enharmonic equivalent of B, key of B, and why not just call it a B? But here it is anyway. B, E, A, D, G, C, F, and there you go. So C flat. And that's the order of flats. So that is really it. And I mean, you have covered all of those, and those are two tricks and two phrases that I want you to practice over the next week, let's say, memorizing those things and then practicing figuring out what the key is. If you have two flats or four flats or three sharps, All right, so when we spell these major scales on the staff, this is how you should do it. Let's say we start in the key of C, no sharps, no flats. Draw a C, which is your 3rd fret, 5th string right there, and then go up a whole octave, 8 notes up, and there's your other C, which would be the 1st fret of your 2nd string. And then I simply fill in the blanks in between. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Easy peasy. Now, when you see a key signature on the staff, you see I got 3 sharps right here. So 3 sharps are going to be F, C, G. Next letter is A. So I am on in the A major scale. You notice that there are no sharp symbols in front of these 3 notes, but we know that they're sharp because of the key signature. So A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And if you don't see a key signature, then technically you're in C, and you would have to indicate, if you want to play the A major scale over C for whatever reason, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Alright? So for the purposes of practicing, we're not going to, when we're writing these notes out, we're not going to give you the key signature so that you'll have to identify which are sharp, which are flat. Same thing goes for scales like F right here. Now, when you practice, if you go onto the downloads on the next tab, what I want you to do is actually write out the letter of the note, the name of the note, F, for example, and then fill in the blanks F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. And that's it. All right, I hope this was helpful. Go on to the downloads, and I will provide you with some practice worksheets so that you can get going on these this week, and then next week, or in the next lesson, I will go through the cycle of force and show you how awesome that is. All right, thanks.